Natalia does not have emotions for nothing but herself. You ready to go to hell with gasoline candy, so we're done. Yeah. We're done with her.
Now, what kind of a father, a stepfather, adopted father, I don't care what kind of a father you are, saying that your daughter deserves to go to hell with gasoline panties on? What in the holy hell is going on? And in case you don't know, this is the Curious Case of Natalia Grace, latest episode. Look, the crew has left the building. They have been out. They said, well, this is a wrap. She's been adopted by a family. Everything's great. We're going to go home. And then they get this call from the mans that Natalia's off her rocker and she needs to get out of the house. So what do? They pack everything up and head right back.
Right after that phone call, Natalia's alleged boyfriend, Neil, from the UK, reached out to our producers and told us that Natalia's in danger and she needs to get out of the man's control. He even went so far as to call the police, but according to Neil, the police didn't do anything. So we don't really know what to believe at this point.
Here is the guy that Natalia is talking to in the UK. This guy, Neil, is in the UK, and he is trying to make moves to help Natalia get away from the man's family because what he's hearing, he does not like. Now, as far as calling the police and the police didn't do anything, I'm pretty sure they walked in and Natalia went, everything's fine, we'll pray about it, it's going to be great. Because she's standing there in front of the family, right? And what is she going to do? She's pretty much powerless when it comes to these folks. So unfortunately, when it comes to cases like this, where there is some kind of abuse or neglect going on in the family, the police come out and they don't really see anything because they hide it. They're afraid. If I tell the police everything that's going on right now and they leave me here for another day, who knows what's going to happen?
When Cynthia and Antoine discovered that Natalia had been communicating with Neil and saw some of what she sent to him, they took her phone, they took her computer away from her, and she was cut off. Why are they doing this to somebody who's not a child? She is not a minor. She is an adult.
Now, this is really important. Natalia is an adult. I believe at the time of taping, she was 20 years old. Talking to a man overseas, sure, not the most convenient person to get into an online relationship with, but she's an adult. She can do that. And here is this guy having concern because he's hearing things that's going on. And he's reaching out to anybody and everybody that he can in order to get help. He's reaching out to the documentary crew. He's reaching out to the attorneys. He's reaching out to families who've tried to adopt her before because she needs out of this situation.
After that alarming phone call, we raced down to Tennessee to interview Natalia, Antoine, and Cynthia. But as soon as we landed, we received a phone call saying, oh, everything's fine, never mind, false alarm, go back. So now the Manses have changed their tune overnight. We need to figure out why.
I will get into so much about the why. We need to figure out why. We can talk about why. Absolutely, we'll talk about why. But the phone call that he got is like, who's got their hand in the cookie jar here?
What's going on? Well, we was talking and we was trying to figure, because you guys already touched down and everything. Is that right? You guys already here? Yeah, we're in Tennessee. Okay. Look, we came to an understanding. Well,
I kind of changed her mind. I did.
she
Stand home.
yeah, she came to her senses on this situation. Okay, so we'll still see you at the same place? Yeah, we'll still be there.
That's important. I love that the documentary crew, instead of saying, oh, well, I guess the story's dead and we're going home then. All right, see ya. He's like, yeah, but we're still going to be there. Because there's still something happening here. There is something that we need to show up for. We got to get to the bottom of this. So you can bet your bottom dollar our asses are going to be there and sit down and talk to you and figure out what in the hell is going on. And on top of that, the documentary crew is like, do we need to help her? Because something's fishy about this.
So what happened? So Natalia changed, literally. It seemed like it was these past 7 days especially. It felt like a nightmare.
I believe it was Monday. I went in her room, and when I opened her door, she hit her home screen to make her phone light close down. She's like up all night talking to this guy. And so we knew something was up, but we didn't know exactly what.
So I told her, I said, Natalia, what's going on online? What are you doing?
We finally figured it out, and she was able to open up and tell us like what you said to him. And she did. She told us.
You said some things to this guy and trashed your parents. I seen what my wife showed me. A lot of false accusations. He played the enemy role, that the parents were the enemy and she needed to get away from the parents. The faith is not right. They're brainwashing you with it. They don't really, love you. They just want to control you. It went from the faith to, okay, now they just want your money and finances and things like that. That's what she told us. And then she said, I want to leave the house. I want to be on my own. It felt like death, like literal death.
Okay, drama. I mean, you have a 20-year-old living in the house. She's talking to somebody online, probably explaining her circumstances. She has to, because, if you're going to date somebody, you got to explain your circumstances. But on top of that, she's on TV. So she's probably talking about the fact that, all of this stuff's going to be on TV about me. And here's what's going on in my life. And tragedy, tragedy, tragedy. That's her life story. And this guy, Neil, stands up and says, you know what? These people are not good for you. Which he's right. These people are not good for her. We're going to find out so many reasons why these people are not good for her. What we already kind of thought was going on is going on. And they find out that she's communicating with this guy, and it's not that she's communicating with a guy overseas. It's not that she's communicating with a guy. Their real problem is she's telling people what's going on inside that house. That's the problem. That's what they're upset about. And the agreement that they came to, I'm pretty sure had something to do with her withholding information and them withholding information. That's the agreement.
Could we see those Facebook messages?
From the guy?
Yeah.
They're deleted. She doesn't even have Facebook no more. She deleted it. Yeah.
And we remember this. We remember this when the documentary came out and then Natalia had no Facebook. It was gone. She was not on TikTok. It was gone. These social media apps were gone. Where did Natalia go? What is happening? And then she had to join the man's family in order to be on social media because she couldn't be trusted online as an adult, right? She's an adult and she can't be trusted online. That is so abusive. I've talked about this before when it came to Angela Deem and Michael Ilisomni, and she took his phone away. I don't know how many times. We saw 2 or 3 times on TV where Angela took Michael's phone away. And that is actually against the law to remove those means of contact for somebody to call for help. That's what they're doing to Natalia, is they are removing her ability to call for help. Taking her phone away, taking the internet away. You can't do anything. Why? Because you talk shit about us. It's more than just trash talking here, folks. We're talking about she has so much truth that she can explode about these people. And that's the reality of what's happening here.
The first thing that popped in my head was he was either going to ask for a ransom, because it's not a secret that, we got a little bit of money or whatever, or he's going to...
Hold on. It's not a secret that we got a little bit of money. Well, not now, because you said that, but it kind of was a secret because you were all over social media talking about how you don't file taxes, weren't you? Wasn't that you, Cynthia? I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was you. So here you are saying, we got money, people could take money, but we don't have money, so please give us money. And we have this church, that's our money, so we don't have to pay taxes because everything we own is about the church. Where we have 5 people who we forced to be there because we've adopted them and forced them to be a part of our church so we could just not pay taxes. Come on, the jig is up. The jig is up.
We were at church yesterday. She kept running out of the sanctuary to go throw up. I believe spirits jump, and I think that this guy was used by Satan to try and pull her away for his gain. She felt like she couldn't even feel God anymore, and she's never been like that.
She was at church, vomiting numerous times, and you felt that was Neil putting Satan into her. Or, hear me out, food poisoning? It was either Satan or food poisoning. I mean, one or the other. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure any major doctor, specialist, digestion specialist would say that is definitely a sign of Satan. Absolutely. Vomiting, Satan. That's how it works. But it's not a cult.
I think it's definitely important to put parameters in place with the internet so these things won't happen again. Look, we got to cut the internet off. We can't allow this to happen. It's just got to be cut. What we want is to make sure that you're safe in all situations, that when the
This is a grown-ass woman. Has her adoptive parents telling her, not that it matters that they're adoptive, but it matters that they adopt many children and play these games with their lives a lot. That's what matters. But here they are, she's an adult and they are putting rules and restrictions on her like she's 14 years old. What in the hell is happening? And how do they envision that she would ever be able to live on her own and learn to take care of herself if she can't even use the internet and learn to manage it in an adult manner? They don't want her to. They don't want her to. That's the point. They want her checks. And to get her checks, they need to keep her living there. They saw dollar signs the moment she came strolling down the street. I mean, who just runs out to the street to some kid and say, hey, do you belong anywhere? Because you can just come live with us if you don't. But that's them. She ran into them. And unfortunately, Natalia has had character after character after character in her life who is using her. And for once, she has somebody who is willing to fight to get her away from that. And that is Neil. Now, whether or not they end up with a romantic relationship or just a friendship or whatever it is, I can tell you this guy is doing good things for her. And to me, it's not sounding at all like he's wanting to get her overseas to do something with her. And if they really were concerned about that, why didn't they say, great, let's go together? Because that's a possibility. They could have joined her. That would be a great love story, wouldn't it? Wouldn't the documentary crew love to see the man's family going to the UK with Natalia to go meet her online boyfriend? Yes. But instead, they said no. Because the moment the world learns that we are using you for your check, we can no longer use you for your check. Oh, man. These people got to be stopped. They have to be stopped. I think they have hit their limit on how many children they could adopt, and they have certainly hit their limit on how much I can stand to see them around taking advantage. I just can't. And this whole church thing, he's a bishop because he's decided he's a bishop. No, sir, that is not how it works. I'm sorry. You can't just come in and say, I've decided I know everything there is to know about the Bible because I went to church last Sunday. Nope. Not how that works. So I'll continue watching, see where Natalia ends up, but I certainly hope that she ends up not with the man's and safely with her own money in her own pocket.